the champ, just know who you talking with. Wait, hold on. Snap a good picture to see who's on top of it. Man, it's just me, dog. When it can't.
To a point where the placing, we were just talking about that. So going into it, me being as humble as I am.
You're not known to be a humble man, but I wonder.
I think I am actually humble. I think I'm much more humble than you would understand.
I was just happy to have completed the prep to be able to step on stage and be there and do that.
Yeah, and if you guys didn't know already, this was her first show.
Yes. Why did I get so awkward?
Show.
This was the plan. The plan was I wanted to compete in 2025. For sure, it was gonna happen. My options were April or December. So I had enough time. I even talked to my therapist about it, and I was like, this is hard to decide, because if I choose April, that means it's gonna be like now or never. You get it done. There's no time to mess up. Stop. I did, because I was a little indecisive with that part.
Yeah.
I want some adult help.
Yeah.
Professional help. So
let me kill myself.
So there was April and then December. So I'm like, okay, if I do December, and this was it was literally a year later. It was in December that we were talking about it. So I'm like, have a whole year to prepare, or do this on now just because you want to do it this year, and like, what is it? Like, get your feet wet, experience it. See how it goes, see how you like it, just that. So that's what I went in.
Yeah, no expectations whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Plus, you had a bunch of issues. I know you had like the wisdom teeth, the removal of the wisdom teeth. So there was a point where like you couldn't even eat certain foods. You know what I'm saying? To get in certain amounts of protein, stuff like that. Bunch of other stuff, right? No expectations, but then all of a sudden, what happens? Yeah.
So then somehow when they're calling up the route.
And you didn't do a solo. So there's stage time, right? You do your whatever walks, and then all of a sudden everybody has a solo so that they can have more stage time. So you were the only one, and I noticed because they called you out, and then you just they're like, oh, never mind, or whatever. So you were the only one that didn't have your own solo, so you didn't have that extra stage time. Okay, there, continue.
So the reason that happened was during the registration, just filling it out, it asks, it offered if you wanted to opt out.
Yeah.
And I took a minute to see how I felt about doing that. And I was like, no, I'm too scared. Like, it's already a lot, and it's optional. So you don't have to do it. You can opt out. You're not being judged. Like, the judges are not using that. They use that time to fill out their papers. For the judging.
Okay.
It's like entertainment. That's why people get to be a little,
Got it.
You see more personality.
Okay.
So I just pictured myself being too nervous. I was like, this is already overwhelming as it is. I was like, I'm gonna just not do that. At one point, I had to go back into the registration and make some adjustments for the classes that I was doing, right? So I talked to my coach about it, and I was like, I don't know, this solo walk, the T-walk, I was like, I don't feel very confident in that. I just kind of don't want to do that. And her response was basically like, okay, if you're not comfortable, you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But I know me, in retrospect, if she would have just said, come on, just do it. Like, just a little push, I would have been like, okay. I think it just gets you to think, if there's ever someone that's doing something hard, it's not, give them the push first. And then if they don't, then back off.
Maybe
but don't back off too soon.
Need that extra,
Just a little bit of a push.
As long as it's not life-threatening. It's like, you know what? You can't really hurt yourself here. You're good, bro. You need to stop being a sissy lala.
Yeah. Honestly, it could do a lot for people. Like, for me, it would have just one person, because I feel like everyone's just understanding. Like, God, you guys don't fucking believe me? Shit. Just someone tell me, just do it for the fuck of it. I would have done it for the fuck of it. But nobody dared me to.
God, everybody's so understanding, damn it.
Yeah, don't push me. So anyway, that's why I didn't do it.
I got you next time. Show up your hand.
So I didn't do it, and yeah, when I saw the paper of the girls lining up,
Yeah.
and I was like, I wanted to know where I was in line, and it was just in order by number.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one the whole period said opt out. I was like, dang. And then but then I see, because we're on the side stage.
Yeah.
Looking at them, I'm like, oh my God. The way I pictured it was gonna be like, you have to walk specifically here and do this, and it's like very structured and very like perfectionist, right? But when I see it in person, I was like, oh, that looks like fun. They're having fun out there. Like, it was not like anything that I expected.
Okay.
See, from that point of view, I was like, damn, it's too late. I can't just be like, no, let me put me in.
Yeah.
No. But you know what? It's funny. At one point, I did choose a song because I thought you had to do it. I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know I had the option until I was registering.
What song did you choose?
Brick House.
Which one's that?
Cause she's a brick house. I don't know.
Why'd you choose that?
Because it's empowering. It makes me feel like a big old buff girl. Like if he's talking about me when I'm like leaving the gym. That's what I picture when I hear that song. He's like, damn, she's...
Bro, I'm just gonna start calling you Brick House. Brick House.
So I didn't do it, but it was really, really cool when they're giving out the awards, and then they call up the numbers, and they called mine, and I was like, actually? Huh? For real? And then I go up there, you know, they hand me the sword, and I think I was up there just like, my first thought was like, oh my God, 4. I was like, the freaking universe is just laughing right now, because 4 is my favorite number.
Oh, okay,
so I was like, I had to get 4. I was like, why is that my favorite number? It felt like a joke, but honestly, it was, I don't know. It was really way more than I expected to happen on my first.
It's like, dang, yeah, that's pretty.
I didn't go home empty-handed.
You're like, I know you got a really cool sword afterwards. Which, by the way, the first thing I was asking myself was like, are these swords real? And they are real, just FYI. So, careful. What?
You know what? It's all white, so even this like ribbon part is white.
Yeah.
Our hands look like
tan?
mechanic hands.
Yeah.
They're so black. So I'm like, oh man, I don't want to touch it.
Because of the tan.
But that's super cool. I did it for myself because 2 months into just working out, I was like, I'm gonna compete. And the fact that I kept my word to myself only a few years later and did it, like, it's really a good feeling.
I think that's really cool. Something I witnessed like through the behind the scenes was you did have a lot of obstacles. A lot of people, even myself, would have been like, you know what, that's too much work. I'm not gonna be doing that. Mm-hmm. You know, but you kept on pushing, and I don't know. It was like, in a way, like you felt you had something to prove, but you definitely proved it. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know what, I did it, and it's like, damn, okay. It's not for the faint of heart. This is not something that's like soft. You're countless hours of cardio. You have to sacrifice family time, enjoyment of whatever, enjoyment of food whatsoever. Like no spices. You're sacrifice. I know it affects your sleep, and then just the changes, the constant changes in diet from just reducing might even affect like the way you work. Your workouts, it's like, it's chaos, and you took it like a G, and it's just like, whoa, damn. I mean, what advice would you give to someone who's looking to go ahead and do something like that?
Just having the free time, or not having other like responsibilities, because at the same time, I'm working full time. I had a yoga teacher training. What were the other things? Holidays were rough too.
Yeah, birthdays too. Ooh,
birthdays, holidays.
Going out to eat. Yeah, those little details. Yeah, dates.
Like depending if you're single or if you're with someone, it takes a lot for them to be understanding about the whole process.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, if this is going to be like your main priority, then it will work, because there's going to be times where you have to do cardio fasted cardio early in the morning, workout. This really just has to be your whole life.
Yeah. I think it's definitely something respectable because it's like you were true to your word, you were true to yourself. And sometimes it's easy when it's like a 24-hour period when you say, you know what, I'm not going to watch TV today. But yours was so much longer. What was it, like 8 weeks? The whole process?
No. I think I had 17 weeks.
Oh, shit.
From the day we decided to start prep.
So 17
so like 4 months.
weeks, yeah. So it's like, that's why I feel like it's so much more admirable because it's like you kept your word. Again, that mental strength, all those whatever topics that we were discussing even beforehand, and then you had that follow through. And it's like, okay. I mean, it's just stuff that like gets you thinking for sure.
Once the moment was decided that I was doing it,
Yeah.
and I started talking about it, I was just like, okay, I already put myself out there as someone that's competing. A lot of what kept me going is like, damn, you don't want to be embarrassed now. Like, don't give up now.
Okay, yeah.
You don't look stupid. You were talking about, oh, you're gonna compete, you're gonna compete.
So
and
what?
it's like keep like standing on business.
Yeah. Dang you, like a brick house.
But I wanted to bring up how some of the things that happened during prep that you could have never planned for. As much as you want to schedule out your weeks, your days, your time, getting in the car accident too.
Oh yeah.
Getting in the car accident, all the days that it took to, getting another car, the stress of like being told by the doctors you need to rest, give it 2-3 days. I had just started. I was like, no way.
The gut health issues too.
Well, hold on. So they were, like you need to rest. And I had just started prep. I'm like, no way. Like I can't, any day that I fall behind is just gonna mess me up at the end. That's really what my mentality was from the beginning, was like, I can't mess up so early. So whatever, the car accident, by the next day, I gave it 24 hours. I was like, I do feel better, I'm fine. I went to it. I had one of the best workouts. I actually made some reels that day.
Damn.
I got a good workout. Yeah. It felt really good. That I was like, I can't let, that was the bar I set for myself. Even though I just went through a car accident, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get back into the gym. Obviously, I wasn't broken or anything, so it's fine. But I was like, I don't need to take extra time. I have a goal. I have to reach it, and the bar is set that now, let's say I feel anything I feel a little sick, I feel a little lazy, whatever. Yeah. I can think to myself, you went to the gym after being in a car accident. You're gonna tell me this is good enough?
Yeah.
No.
Automatically your standards have risen. Yeah.
And that's what kept it so high. And then the needing to get my wisdom tooth taken out. So I had to look into recovery. My main concern was recovery. What's gonna be the best way to get in and out and recover as fast as possible. Which super sucked having to do it under local anesthesia.
Yeah.
And I didn't know much about it. There was no one around me guiding me, telling me anything. It was just like, when I talked to, the people, whatever, the ones that did it, they were like, this is gonna be the fastest way to recover. So you're not going under anesthesia. It was freaking traumatizing going through that. It's like I chose the hard, but I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know like what it was gonna be like, how much it was gonna hurt, how uncomfortable, how you can't eat anything.
Yeah. Even
months later, like how it's gonna feel. I didn't know anything. I was just like, whatever is quick, I just need to get back into the gym. Let's do it, let's go. So that one, it did take more downtime. I think it was about 5 days.
Okay.
And eating just a lot of Greek yogurt. I did really enjoy that though.
Damn.
Like a little something different.
Yeah.
And it was kind of nice to get a little rest just in between. But I was like 5 weeks out.
I mean,
close.
I think a lot of it too is like just your change on perspective. Something that you do is like you're very positive about stuff. So, I mean, I feel like that definitely helped too, for sure. Mm-hmm. So I'd say change your perspective. That would be definitely something helpful. What was it that you were saying right now where it's like...
And the gut thing, we haven't even got to that.
Yeah.
Having something...
No, the fast. Remember the fast you were saying? Like It's like, oh, if I were ever broke or whatever, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm not eating. I'm fasting.
Okay, so an example of being positive is you don't have groceries and what do you say? Oh, I'm so hungry, like I don't have food, feeling bad for yourself. And I was like, why don't you just think of it as fasting? Like there's benefits to fasting.
Duh. No.
Just see the positive in everything.
And then the gut health.
So then so like having IBS and just random something triggers stress too. Stress could do that. A flare up, which is just a lot of bloating and constipation and stuff. It sucks. It super sucks dealing with it and being limited on what you can do to try to fix it. So it did happen during prep as well, and it was very worrisome because I'm like, am I losing weight? Does my body look like this, or am I just bloated and inflamed?
Oh.
That was being so close and knowing like what you're working towards, seeing the changes, because you're looking at yourself daily. You're doing your check-ins weekly. You're constantly aware of what your body looks like.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden,
right.
You're like, am I fat? It really sucks. So all of those together, but still being able to do it, it's for the plot. It just makes it a lot more interesting that
it's a good story.
That all that stuff happened, and then but at no point did I think like, oh no, I gotta back out. Oh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Fuck no. It was like, that's my main thing. Like everything else needs to back out. Like this is number one.
Yeah, I think there were even times where like people were telling us like, hey, well maybe you may want to go ahead and postpone or stuff like that. You're like, hell no, you're going this like Mino 10, just like, ooh, okay, cool, great, my bad, bro.
Yeah, the wisdom tooth was one of those.
Yeah.
Like maybe we should, and I was like, nope, whatever it takes. Like and I was willing to, and it took a lot of cardio.
Yeah.
Like cardio was really the hardest, because it was every day.
Yeah.
That was
not just that. Was it 90 minutes?
Yeah, I got up to 90 minutes. I think what was a drag too was having to drive to the gym. I think now going into it again, I really want to figure out a way to invest in like
equipment,
something at home.
Yeah.
To be able to do that, because it's every day. Oh.
Yeah. Was there a time, and if so, when was that time where you were just kind of like sick of it? Or you were just like, you know what, I'm kind of done with this?
So I wouldn't say done with it, but I will say I had like a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks out, mentally, I was so frustrated. I was like, I was really stressed out. At no point I didn't feel like giving up, but I was just like, does this happen when you're eating this little bit of food or doing this much cardio? Like that just felt like I'm too tired to continue on the Stairmaster. So what it ends up happening is it's making me feel like, damn, can I just not work this hard? Can I not work hard enough? Like, what's wrong with me? Like everyone else can do it. Everyone else does it. They're eating the same foods. They're doing the same exercises. Why can't you? So it's like a I don't know, that's what I was feeling. So like, I don't know what you call that, but I had that once, and I, talked to my coach about it. You know what she said?
What?
She was like, the fact that this is happening to you so close, like this far out, she was, that's really good. Like you've been able to mentally like keep yourself together this whole time. We're about, I think it was actually 8 days out.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're just now feeling the stress and not before. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, like that's
a positive perspective.
I've been holding it together this long. That's right.
Yeah. What is it like? Probably like the change in hormones because of the stress, the food, the insufficient food, the insufficient or the too much cardio, stuff like that. But
like the menstrual cycle, I stopped getting it in March.
Okay, yeah.
So that does affect a lot. Okay. I didn't think that was gonna happen, and then when the whole month passed, I was like, oh, it did.
Yeah. We don't know about that stuff, bro. But
well, if anybody is wanting about competing, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
So I'm over here bloated, no period. Like, what the hell? I'm
miserable as hell, hungry, starving, cold. What?
Yeah. But the crazy thing is, I put myself together and got my ass to the gym.
Yeah.
Do you know how to have the attitude to put on makeup and go to the fucking gym and not, I never allowed myself to be like, me voy a ir fodonga. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna wear a big t-shirt and fucked up hair. Not once. I now have selfies to prove it.
Fodonga
That
means
helped.
like undressed, not ready.
Like sloppy.
Yeah, sloppy.
Not that it's sloppy when other girls do that, but for me, it's sloppy
Yeah, yeah.
because I like to
Yeah.
wear a little makeup and whatever. But that, what I'm saying is making the time to put myself together,
Yeah.
to go, it helped. Look at the big picture.
Yeah.
That's just one of the many things that were like, you take care of yourself, you take that time for yourself before going in, and you look good, you feel good.
Yeah.
And you do good work.
What would you have done differently based off of things that were in your control, not the things that were out of your control?
Dang. I really would have been more open or communicate more that about like being pushed, like being told I can do more.
Okay.
Being told that like just pushing myself to a higher limit, because the working out I was doing by myself, not with the in-person trainer. So yes, I'm pushing as far as I know myself to be able to
Yeah.
do, but I feel like it would have been even better having someone say, no, you can do 2 more, no, you can do more
Right,
weight,
right.
like having that. So I think, well, that question still, it does apply because I'm going to do this again, and these are things I'm considering
Yeah.
that I want to make adjustments or make sure I have for my next prep,
Right.
which is getting that push in the gym. Because it's like, I feel like I still didn't do everything to my full potential.
Yeah.
With just a little push,
Yeah.
I could have done more.
I feel like in a way, I mean, to keep it short, you have a very promising future. You just started. There was a lot of doubts, a lot of questions, a lot of errors, I guarantee, that you made, and yet you still placed. It's like, oh, damn, bro. Imagine if you basically just
Little tweaks.
yeah, made those little tweaks or those adjustments needed.
Let's go.